Today, I'm going to be showing you how to take care of a ball python. These majestic reptiles are cold-blooded creatures, meaning they can't generate body heat like we humans or mammals do. So, they require an external source of heat to digest food and thrive. And that would mean you need to have certain specific equipment that can provide them perfect conditions of temperature and humidity to thrive in, and food and water as well. And if you have all those needs met, you are rewarded with a healthy snake. And a healthy snake is a happy snake. I have been in a reptile keeping business for over 19 years, and that's about as how old I am right now. How, you may ask? My father was in the reptile keeping business, as you can see right there, with my bearded dragons and iguanas, for more than 30 years, which is way before I was born. So I guess I kind of was born into taking care of reptiles. It's truly fascinating to look at these creatures. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, now let's take a look at the tank. I have my python here in a 40-gallon tank, which is the minimum size requirement. But in reptile keeping, the bigger the tank you have, the better it is going to be for them. But since I have space problems, I have a minimum 40-gallon tank, which is more than enough. Now up here, I have two lamps. One's for daytime use, the other one's for nighttime use. Now down in here, the most important part you should have is a heat gradient. This side of the tank is warm. This right here is like moderate, and that right there is cool side. So the python can move as freely as it pleases to adjust to the temperature of its surroundings. And I have this rock right here called a hide. And a hide is something a python can use to hide in, as they are vulnerable to attacks from predators because they have no legs, so they can't defend themselves, so they need to hide. So the python can hide in the warm hide if it needs to stay warm, or the moderate hide if it just feels just right, or the cool side where it's residing right now. And I have some bunch of stuff here for the python to play around with. My python is very active, so it likes climbing on these branches. It likes to go inside the log, and a bunch of other stuff to play around with, such as this hide up here that I duct tape to the ceiling, and it can just go inside right here as it pleases. And I have a water bowl for the python to sip upon. And yes, the substrate is not dirt, but it's coconut fiber, and this stuff holds moisture really well. And I have sphagnum moss here on it as well to hold moisture. And yeah, if you have the perfect temperature and humidity, the python is going to be happy. Let's take a look at the temperature. Right now it's about at 95 degrees, which is just about right where we need to be. Pythons, since they're cold-blooded, this is what they rely on for heat. Now for daytime, this lamp is on, and it provides heat and ultraviolet light and mimics the sun. Now the other lamp provides heat at night and does not provide any light or any other bright light source, because it's nighttime, they need to sleep, so it's darkness. And yes, tanks like these, which have mesh on the ceiling, tend to hold humidity poorly. So to counter that problem, I covered the ceiling in aluminum foil and left the part where the lamps reside with no aluminum so the light can pass through. So this holds humidity in pretty good, because pythons are from Africa, so they need high humidity to mimic the environment they originally come from. And if you have the python in a perfect humidity condition, they should shed their skin in a perfect long line. If you don't have any perfect humidity condition set right, they would probably shed their skin in like pieces, and that's not good. Unlike my other reptiles, like this leopard gecko, which is from Middle East and lives in the desert, does not need humidity, so I did not cover the mesh in aluminum and likes dry desert conditions, unlike ball python that's acclimated to humid and jungle conditions. Alright, now comes the feeding part. Feeding pythons is a little complex process because you would require a scale first. So I have this little scale right here, and I weighed my python and he's around 800 grams. And recommended food for pythons is around like 15% of their body weight. So I have a 50-gram rat right here. It's been soaking in a warm water, so the rat's warm. And if you can look at the python's face closely, you see those little holes on the face? Those are called pit sensors. What they do is they can sense heat. So if you give them a cold rat, they're gonna know it's a dead rat and they're not gonna eat it. But if you warm it up in like warm water like I'm doing it right now, they're probably gonna think it's like a living rat and they will strike. And for the striking part, I'd like to use something that's 12 inches long to hold a rat, because I tried hand feeding them many times and unfortunately they miss and get your fingers, which is not really nice. It doesn't hurt, but you know, no one wants to get bitten by a snake. So, no, let me clean that up a little bit. Okay, so this rat, we're going to be placing it right here, and I'm going to dangle it around so he can smell the rat and come out. Here's the rat. Oh, there he is. Come on. Come on. You know you want it. Just like keep a distance from the rat and your fingers, just in case if he misses, he doesn't strike your fingers. And there we go. He's in a striking position. He's gonna strike anytime now. And bam! There we go. Now he's got it. I like to dispose of this water just anywhere in the tank. And now he's got the rat. It's gonna take around 15 to 20 minutes for them to swallow rats, so just keep an eye on them, make sure they swallow it, they don't choke on it or anything, and yeah, he'll be fine. Oh, I know he's happy. Give them a little space. He's gonna drag the rat into the hide and swallow it up. And next feeding day would be 2 weeks from now on. Adult ball pythons, however, require larger rats and eat once a month. So you might want to keep a track of your snake's weight and age and make sure they're eating the proper food they're supposed to be eating. You got it. You got it. Oops. Uh-oh. You can do it. I believe in you. Again, this process might seem a little graphic, but things die so other things can live. That's the natural order. And that's precisely what you're witnessing here. A snake getting its nutrition, and that's about it. And rats contain all nutrients. The bones have calcium, organs, the meat. So essentially they can just live off rats. You don't need any supplements or anything else. And 20 minutes later, he's gonna swallow it all up. and reptiles, like any other creatures, are also susceptible to diseases and illnesses. They can range from respiratory illness to digestive problems to skin shedding problems. And most of the time, these are due to improper care. Look at that little cutie patootie. Anyways, let's get back into it. And pythons hide their pain, so you would not know if they're suffering or not. And one of the ways they can express it is by refusing to eat food. And like I said, most of the time these problems are due to improper care, so you would need to fix whatever problem you might have, maybe such as it could be a low temperature that needs to be raised up a little bit, or low humidity that needs to be raised up, and certain conditions that need to be met. And if you have all those conditions at the right temperature and stuff, and the python still refuses to eat food, then I would recommend you take the python to an exotic veterinarian where they can look at it professionally and give you advice on what to do. My ball python has eaten now and is back into his hide, so he won't be getting out anytime soon, but I do know that he's in there with a full stomach and a happy peace of mind, and that's all I care for. As long as he's happy, I'm happy. And the thing you should know about reptiles is that they are emotionless. They lack the part in their brains that show them emotions like mammals feel. They run on kill or be killed instinct, meaning they're purely instinctively run creatures. And the bond that you can form with your reptiles is not out of love, but out of trust. This hand should scare them, but they're not scared, meaning they trust me and know that I'm there to take care of them, and that's a good bond. That's the bond you want to form with your pythons and your reptiles as well. There we go. Enjoy that food. I hope you love reptiles as much as I do, and I wish you luck in taking care of pythons, as they are incredibly rewarding and fascinating to look at. Well, this guy's not a python, but reptiles are reptiles. Don't bite the camera now. I know you want to eat the camera.